Hey there, thanks for tuning in. If you want to watch this and future videos, please support us by subscribing, liking and commenting. It really helps us out and keeps the journey going. My trip to a place called Kbal Spean, so I'm on my way to a place called Kbal Spean. It's actually a river, and in that river there are hundreds of lingas carved directly into the stone. I've wanted to come here for a long time, but never found the time whenever I was in the area. I've explored Angkor Wat many times before, but this place is about an hour to an hour and a half drive north of it, and I think it's going to be really interesting. Already I can see some big rocks. It looks like sandstone. Yeah, definitely some kind of sandstone. Let's see what we can find. I left my scooter down in the parking lot, and now I'm heading out on a hike that should take about an hour to reach the river with the lingas. Let's see how it goes. Oh, wow, there are huge rocks all over the place. Beautiful. I love this kind of trail. It's so peaceful. I really like being here in Cambodia. Especially once you leave Siem Reap and the Angkor Wat area behind. Out here it's truly wild. We're deep in the forest now. I don't think there's any cell signal here either. I just passed 2 Cambodian women taking a break, relaxing. Okay, the trail's getting steeper now. Oh my God, massive boulders. And by the way, Kbal Spean means Bridge of Skulls. There's nothing written on the stone here, though. I was hoping we could maybe fly the drone too, but we'll see since everything's covered by trees. In Sanskrit, Kbal means skull and Spean means bridge. So it's literally Skull Bridge. I guess we'll find out why it's called that. The walking trail is actually really nice. I love this kind of nature. No trash, just greenery. It's a remote place for sure. Once you leave Siem Reap and Angkor Wat, the traffic disappears. Just a few cars and motorbikes here and there. You can really feel it's not a densely populated area. It's getting pretty steep now. Oh wow, these stairs are intense. We're now north of Angkor Wat, on the west side of Phnom Kulen National Park. I've been to the park 2 or 3 times already, and I think I'll go again tomorrow. Lots of sandstone boulders there too. Well, not just boulders, huge rocks. The forest here is super dense. Okay, I can hear water now. That means we're getting close. It sounds like a river or maybe a small waterfall. Let's check it out. And here it is, a really beautiful waterfall. Now we're climbing a bit higher, and this is where we should start seeing the lingas. Let's go take a look. This place really is special. I mean, the relics we're seeing here. Wow. There's even a cool little cave and so many butterflies, really beautiful ones. Oh, and inside the cave I can see a linga too. Looks like they're still being carved, maybe even by Buddhists now. But this cave feels ancient. I think what we're seeing is a yoni with the linga in the centre. All right, moving on. We've made it to the main site. You can clearly see the lingas all lined up in a grid pattern. I'm not sure exactly what they were used for, but it's possible they had some technical or symbolic purpose. They only stick out a few centimetres from the surface. There's also an interesting carving on one of the rocks. Looks like a cow with some small figures sitting or standing around it. Fascinating. This river, Kbal Spean, also called the River of 1,000 Lingas, was actually one of the vital lifelines for the ancient city of Angkor, long before it reached the plains. Sacred carvings of lingas and geometric patterns were carefully etched into the riverbed's sandstone. The ancient Khmer believed that as water flowed over these sacred symbols, it became purified and charged with life-giving energy. Looks like there are even more carvings further down the river. Let's take a look. Yep, very interesting. It's super hot today, but I just spotted another carving. Let's check it out. Some of the stones here look like reptile or snake skin with textured patterns and natural designs. They almost seem alive, like a giant fossilized serpent. Let's keep going. Wow, there are so many carvings along the riverbanks. As we walk along the river, hundreds of carvings reappear in the water, forming a sort of sacred geometric grid etched into the stone. Could it be that the ancient Khmer really discovered a way to purify or energize the water? just like Victor Schauberger described in his work. Schauberger believed that water gains energy when it flows in harmony with nature, through curves, spirals, and natural pathways. He noted that this kind of movement generates a sort of internal power, what he called levitational force or implosion energy. Maybe the lingas acted like tiny reflectors, creating small currents and spirals that amplified the vibrational structure of the water. It's also worth mentioning Dr. Masaru Emoto's research, which suggests that water has some form of memory. His experiments showed that water could actually respond to words, thoughts, and music, changing its internal structure as a result. And here, in the jungles of Cambodia, we might be seeing remnants of that same idea, not in a lab or a textbook, but in the stones, in the flow, in everything underwater. It's really fascinating. I mean, there's a clear symmetry to it with lots of geometric shapes. All right, let's keep going. Oh, wow, check out these really ancient carvings. I think this is classic Hindu style. Yeah, it's incredible. Right here you can see another linga that's been separated from the yoni surrounding it. And here's another really old engraving on this rock. So this is the actual Kbal Spean bridge. It really does look man-made, even though the rocks are way too massive to move. I mean, if you look at the arrangement of the stones, it just doesn't feel natural. Look at this. It almost looks like it was stacked deliberately. The name Kbal Spean literally translates to bridge of the head or bridge of the skull. The name comes from the way the eroded patterns in the stone looked like eye sockets or hollow faces when seen from certain angles. That's why the locals call it Skull Bridge. And over here we see the sacred bull Nandi carrying the god Shiva on his back, surrounded by other figures worshipping beside him. There's also Vishnu, resting on the cosmic serpent Ananta, with smaller divine beings around him, representing the dual forces of destruction and preservation. Looks like they were even working with mushrooms over there. Oh wow, this whole place is filled with lingas. They have these formations with 9 lingas, 1 in the centre and 8 around it, forming a perfect circle. That's really interesting. You can also see carvings on the rocks. There's what looks like an arm and a fist carved in. It's almost like these carvings and patterns were added to the riverbed at different times by different sculptors, each with their own skills and intentions. On the back side of this stone, there's another really interesting carving. Let's see if we can zoom in. The wall carving on this stone and the lingas clearly seem like 2 different types. And when you look at that linga with the yoni behind it, it's obvious they weren't made the same way. Okay, let's keep going. There's more to find here than I expected. This place is actually huge. Oh wow, there's another area over here. It looks like a 3-headed figure. And down in the river there are hundreds of these lingas scattered all over. Then there's this strange yoni with 9 lingas inside it. I really wonder if this has something to do with sacred geometry or maybe even a technical purpose. Wow! This tree here also looks like it was used for worship. Amazing. All right, moving on. What a beautiful place. The nature here is just stunning and peaceful. This whole walk along the river has been amazing. Looks like we've reached the end of the trail. I'm going to cross over to the other side of the river now. Oh my God, there's a massive linga right there. I just noticed it now. A huge linga in the middle, with a yoni surrounding it. Incredible. And over here, more carvings. This one's face has been erased. Looks like this was the final part of Kbal Spean. It was really fascinating. Over the next few days, we'll keep exploring Phnom Kulen National Park and Kari Pyramid. This was our first time visiting this site, and yes, stay tuned to hear the spirit calls in stone to uncover the soul of the Stone Age and the